early morning in the desert. My favorite time of day. Oh, I've got a packed full day today. First, I'm meeting Heidi. She's offered to take me to breakfast so that I could help her with some YouTube tips and things to get started with her Create Your Second Half YouTube channel. She's going to have that up and running, guys, so go subscribe to her channel. She's amazing. And then after that, I'm meeting another amazing woman. Her name is Anita. And Anita has just gone through a journey of grief over the last year. And she's got a powerful tearjerker of a story, losing her husband, and he was young. And so I hope you'll come along today and listen as I interview Anita. And then we're also going to do a part two of her minivan. So with no further ado, on to my day, and hope you'll join
Anita,
us.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just feel so very blessed to be able to talk to you today, and for your willingness to share your journey. A journey that a lot of people, unless they're in your shoes, would have no idea how to navigate and how and what to do in a situation that you were faced with. So thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, because I hope this helps others that end up in the same situation to get up, move, make changes if they need to move forward with life.
Yes. So, well, as the intro, or the stated, or what I stated, is that I've called this, with your permission, your grief journey, and it started just about last year. So if you could share your story from before life changed as you knew it to now, I just know we're going to be blessed and encouraged.
Thank you, Linda. I was married for 36 years, almost 37. My husband and I had a family with 2 children, 1 and 2 in a million, after we were told we weren't going to have any, and they truly were a blessing. We met all our goals for, our family life and our life together. It was a partnership. He was not only my husband, my lover, he completed me. We complemented each other. So losing him, at just short of being 68 years old.
Wow.
And not expecting it. It was sudden.
Wow.
And fast. I mean, we took him to a hospital for something that he'd had, several times before, and usually it was in and out. You're back home and everything's fine. But within 24, 32 hours, he was dead. And you can't prepare yourself for that. The worst pain I have ever felt.
I can only imagine. I can't imagine. To me, last year at the WRTR, or the RTR, one of the open houses, introduced yourself, because you've been a longtime follower.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for your videos.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's because of people like you willing to share. And you had told me that what had happened, and it was, to me, it was really raw, that you were really raw. So can you take us a little bit on that journey of your decision over something that had literally, just happened within a month?
Yes, it was less than a month, because he died on the 20th of December, right between our kids' birthdays. and just before Christmas. And I'm so thankful that we were at a Christian hospital with the chaplain, because she said, before I left there, she said, don't try to make the holidays the same.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you're better off trying some new traditions. And
So that sounded like a catalyst.
yes, it was. And the other catalyst is that my mother is in her 90s. She lived independently in an apartment just through the woods from my house.
Mm-hmm.
You could walk there
To
faster.
grandmother's house we go.
Yeah, and you could walk there faster than you could drive.
Uh-huh.
So no sleigh needed. And so when she was living independently, and she's very healthy, but you sort of needed to make sure that, you know, she had food in the refrigerator,
Right.
and was taking care of herself,
Right.
and that type stuff. And I was sort of that person, that caregiver. She was scheduled to go to Atlanta and visit my older sister.
During the
A vacation.
during the RTR.
Yes, we had planned a vacation, a month and a half, that we were coming out here. I was going to
Yes, 'cause
attend
we're
the
now,
RTR.
We're now in Quartzsite, just to bring everybody up to speed. Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And we were going to come out here and do the RV show and the gem and mineral shows, because we were both geologists through training school. And then he went on to become an engineer. And so we were going to do the gem and mineral shows and the RV show,
Yes.
and just enjoy
Right.
Quartzsite.
And without having a concern for your mom.
Yes.
And then life changed.
And
So how did you decide, when you already had this plan, to not just throw in the towel? And, you know, like me personally, I don't know that I would have the strength. You never know until you're in that situation. Like, I just can't go this year. The whole memory was going to be with my husband, and now he's not here. So what gave you the fortitude? How did you decide that you wanted to come anyways?
because we already had the vacation planned, I hadn't planned on doing it alone, solo.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been a camper and a wilderness backpacker all my life.
Oh, wow.
And so I felt that maybe I should go anyway, and I decided to try and do the trip like we had planned as a solo. And I came out here. I was a few days late to catch the WRTR,
Mm-hmm.
and so I attended the RTR.
Mm-hmm.
And in between, I tried to do the gem and mineral shows, but doing stuff that we did together, it was so raw and so soon
Mm-hmm.
that I found I really couldn't spend much time doing it.
Okay.
And so I did go to the mineral shows,
Really? Wow.
and
Kudos to you.
I was turning to leave because I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And I saw a booth that had malachite, and
Oh my gosh, look at this, guys.
that's a hand-carved malachite turtle,
Okay.
and it's from the Congo in Africa. And the man at the booth was from the Congo, and he was selling these, and I said, wow, how much are they? And he said, well, let me weigh it. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be really expensive. And so he weighs it, and it's all of like $12.
Whoa, and a turtle.
And a turtle.
Is there any significance to it being a turtle? Why you picked that?
I wanted to remind myself to slow down and enjoy life, go slow, and be patient. And
Be patient with yourself.
yes,
Be patient with the process.
the whole process, yes. And
The
so
grief.
the grief and just the journey from here on, because it's going to be different. And so I carried this on the dash of the whatever vehicle I've been traveling in.
Oh, what kind of vehicle are you in now?
I'm in a Toyota Sienna. It's a 2015. My husband and I bought it just during the beginning of the pandemic. We traded in a 2006 Sienna that we had tried traveling in, and we had also just recently bought a Class B RV.
Oh, wow.
It was an older one, but I didn't feel confident to drive it out by myself.
Okay.
And so I left it at home and I jumped in that minivan
And last year,
last year.
and you still have it here, and we're going to do a part 2 where you show us some of your cool camping and how some unique things that you being a backpacker. So, wow. But go ahead.
So I came out in that Sienna. I drove out in 3 days,
This was last year.
yes, to get here, and then started attending the RTR, did the Gem and Mineral Show, and at the small rig show, I ran into you,
Yes.
and I was still raw with grief.
Can only imagine.
But I was invited to camp with a group of women from California
Oh,
over near where you parked,
okay.
and they welcomed me even though I told them, I said, I'm grieving.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be Debbie Downer to
Yes.
any other group, but
But
yes,
they needed to know where you were coming from.
yes. And they said, that's fine. You can participate as much as you want or as little. And they welcomed me into the group. And there were a lot of women that traveled with, they're married, but traveled without their husbands because theirs, like mine, were more homebodies. There were women that were widowed. There were women that were divorced. There were women that just were out there on their own because they've never been with someone else. And it was really good.
And they embraced you
Yes, they did, as I came,
as you were. Yeah.
which was broken.
Broken and I'm just really impressed because as you're telling your story, I'm thinking about what would I do? Like maybe many of the people here who are listening to you right now, I would have probably curled up in my SUV, leave me alone, just maybe journal, be by myself, isolate. And you found a group where you could do as little or as much as you wanted, and you didn't just pull your head in like a turtle. And for just you were I'm impressed with how you managed. So how long did you end up staying in Arizona before you went back home? And then tell us what that looked like.
Okay, I was out here for about 8 days, and I went to the final wrap up on the RTR, and I got in my van, I drove to a rest area partway, did lunch on the road, and then I went and visited a brother on the way home. He lives in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Wow. Now back home. Sounds kind of quiet compared to what you had been doing with women around and open houses and different things.
It was, but what the RTR and coming out here to Quartzsite did do for me was I was sort of stuck already, in my grief and stuff. And it made me realize God is still there looking over me. My husband is on to eternal life. He's not suffering, and I have work to do. I have a life to live. I have a purpose.
You have children.
I have children, and they're young. They're young adults, and they still need a parent. And so coming out here, nature heals, and being around a supportive group of women really helped me to get unstuck and to continue my grief journey. So it gave me the courage to move forward and do what I had to do to get everything in order. And then this Christmas season passed, and I said, I'm going to go to the WRTR this year.
Well, girl.
And I'm going to start a national parks journey. And
You're talking about 2023 Christmas. Second Christmas alone, a full year has come and gone now.
yes.
Okay.
And I was planning to drive the big van, but it's a 95 and a part broke. I had no brake lights.
Oh, the van that you had purchased before.
Yeah, my husband actually found that thing and will have owned it 2 years in February. But a bigger rig is more gas and it's more maintenance.
Oh.
And so I jumped in the trusty minivan
From last year, yes.
and I drove it out again, and I took a little more time, saw more things, had to outrun a snowstorm.
Okay.
But it was, I'm so thankful for last year because I did have a group of women that I could text if I had
A moment.
a moment or just hit a wall and needed a friendly voice. Some of those women had been through this.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
And they can give you advice.
Because maybe they were further down the road than you?
Way further, yes.
Okay.
Some of them 3 years, 2 years.
Yes.
And so it encouraged me that there is life after the loss of a soulmate.
Wow, wow. And so when you went home, I guess you still had your children, you still had mom, so that's a key factor.
Yes.
So you had, can I say, truth, I mean, that you had things to focus on? Did you feel the quietness, or did you go out on little day trips, or what did you do to fill that void?
I did do some shorter trips. I went up, my younger sister retired in the end of June. I drove that Class B up to Laramie, Wyoming. Got a good visit in with her and was encouraging her to get out and do some stuff.
Wow.
Because her husband is not retired. He's younger. So, and she came out this year.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, so I just met her. She's a lovely lady too, like yourself. Wow, wow. So here we are. It is 2024. It's been a year. Can you give us a little bit of the synopsis of raw 2023, a year's gone by, some of the, not to minimize the grief or how you're still feeling, but the difference, a little bit of the difference now after a year.
I think
in your journey.
I think coming out here, like I said, it got me unstuck, and it sped up healing because there was a support network, and it has given me the courage to start that journey on my own, you know, a single journey, to do the travel and stuff that we didn't get to do in our retirement together.
Yes, and you said, you had told me earlier that your husband was kind of a stay-at-home and would travel if you wanted to, a good guy, but yeah. He had traveled all his life in a career, so he didn't have the travel bug like you do.
No, he didn't, and he would go out a couple weeks, but it was not his thing. And we did a lot more hotels and stuff when we did trips together.
Yes.
And he was getting better. He loved that big van because you could stand up in it. It was like a little New York apartment. The New York apartment was great, but it was about our journey, and I am happier, and I just feel more empowered and more nimble and in the minivan.
Oh.
So that's what I prefer to travel solo in, and it's my new widow's journey to travel in the minivan. And I look forward to showing you the minivan, the way it's set up, in the next video.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, please subscribe and click the bell. You do not want to miss seeing Anita's camping tips and tricks too.
Anita, what does 2024 look like for you? Do you have any plans? I know you just went to Joshua Tree with your sister and came back here to Quartzsite. Anything else that you're looking forward to?
I would like to visit all the national parks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so
This coming year, not all of them. You can't do them all. No, there's 200 some. Do you have anything in mind right now?
I'm going to continue that journey of seeing the parks. I've already done Saguaro on the way out, and we just did Joshua Tree. Came back yesterday from doing 4 days there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's given me a target. It's given me the courage, and the empowerment to go forward with my life to make it the best life I can have.
Yes, that's fantastic. Well, Anita, thank you. Thank you for sharing your heartfelt, because I know this has not been easy, and it's not easy when you have to relive some of the things that you had to go through. And I know that this is just going to be really touch a lot of lives, and if anyone is faced with this, a tragedy such as you had to be faced with, that they would be able to do what they can to make a new life, a new beginning in a different way. You're writing your story in a different way as a single woman.
Yes.
So, thank you, and hugs. I love you, Anita.
Love you too.
Thank you for our friendship. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
And we'll just be on to the next part of this video. Yay!
Yay!